What is up? Sick man back again, talking about more playoff games over the weekend on Saturday around 11 o'clock UK time. Um, the process was here. It's arrived. It hasn't been vindicated as of yet because, people are trying to take away the MVP trophy from Joel Embiid. But that's okay because we had game one and Philly came out and they really took the crowd's energy and they blew the doors off the Raptors. They played extremely well. I don't have, in terms of the six man, I'm not on the Philly. I chose to go against them and not pick them, but I know Bray's got the Raptors. Um, I'm going to close out this section just because. Oh no, I'm going to start with this section because I know the most about it. I watched the whole game. Um, I think for me, there's a lot of stuff that the Sixers did which they won't do in game two, such as they won't have three turnovers, which tied a career playoff best or fewest turnovers in a playoff game. I don't suspect that Maxey will get 38 points and Tobias will get 26 just because the distribution of what Embiid did 19 and 12 and Harden's 14 assists and one turnover. I think from James Harden's standpoint, he distributed the ball really well, but he struggles so much driving. It is insane. If you look at what he's done from a field goal shooting standpoint, his numbers from three are pretty decent. From what I can remember, he might have been like 4 or 7, but he actually shot like 2 or 10 from the field. He doesn't get the same calls that he used to when he played in Houston and he was at the peak of his powers. The Raptors, they probably had one of the worst game ones that they probably could have envisioned. A lot of it was down to Philly playing well, but also a lot of players going down. Scotty Barnes is out for game two. That was a freak incident. Thaddeus Young is also out. Gary Trent played really bad. He's not going to be, he's doubtful for game two. So there's a lot of players that would obviously help the Raptors. I think Scotty Barnes being the big one because I think the kid's he's so good. But the main man we need to speak about is Tyrese Maxey. Yesterday, Ed, Bray said that Tyrese Maxey would not amount to anything in this league. And it is absolutely, no, Bray, it is absolutely
there's no context
ridiculous.
there.
When did he say this?
He said this
So
yesterday.
basically, we were talking about the game. So we met up to watch the games that were on Sunday. And so before they were on, we were talking about the games from the Saturday, which included both the Philly game and the Timberwolves game. And I said, big up basically, and on the Timberwolves for having a massive game. To which point Alex pipes up and goes, but what about Maxey? Because Maxey had 38. To which I said, and this was probably quite harsh, but Ant's actually going to be someone. Whereas I don't,
wow, And
like,
in terms of that, Ed, he also means that it's either your MVP or you're nothing as well.
I mean, but then okay. I mean, look, I'm more thinking about ceilings here because like Ant having this mindset and being able to do these things, I'm like, oh, maybe he could be a multi-time All-Star. Do I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be a multi-time All-Star? Probably not. Probably not.
Maxey, keep doing your thing, bro. This kid he's so good. He's so good. He's had countless great games throughout the season. The Grizzlies overtime in the regular season when we didn't have Joel, we didn't have any star, it was a basic throwaway game. Then also the Heat as well, both at home. So it'll be interesting to see if he can do it on the road. But if you look at like his 3-point numbers, he was 30% last year. He's 42%. That's a ridiculous increase. He's gone up from 8 to 17.5. And the maddest thing about this all, game 7, this guy played 1 minute in game 7 last year. Incredible. And what he's been able to do, and the fact that, and obviously Jordan Poole as well, the fact that they're not contenders or candidates for most improved is insane to me. I don't understand it. Not to take away anything that the players have done who have been nominated, but is it a big enough jump to be most improved? I don't know. That's just my opinion. I suspect
most improved is such a strange category. They're so hard to judge.
But then the other thing you got to consider is like Tyrese I don't know if he's improved or he's just got more minutes so he can show what he can do. That's the thing. It's like you could say it's not an improvement. He's always been this good. He's just never got any minutes, and it's only in the absence of players. That he played. One thing I will say, you mentioned the 3-point shooting. For the last 2 months, he has been en fuego. He's like, I think is the 42% for the season is probably higher than he's ever going to shoot in his career, because he's had an entire month of like 50% plus shooting from three. It's ridiculously hot. Like, I don't think he's going to be like shooting 50% every month.
No,
like,
I mean, he could shoot over 42%. That's what I thought you were saying. He could.
I think, yeah, no, I think it might regress to maybe like 39, 40. I think that might be where he's more at, because 42 is like almost like all time. Like, it's so good. But I mean, props. He came through big. I think it really helps him having all eyes on Embiid and Harden.
The heat check, bro. The heat check was so good. Shake Milton passing him the ball back. The guy's got the hot hand, and he just looked. Yeah. And I was like, he's not pulling that. He pulled it, nothing, like pure. And it was so good. Like I said, when I was there, Maxey is the fan favorite by far. Like, people love Embiid. Like, he's obviously the man, like, you know, Maximus in the Gladiator arena. But Maxey being a young kid, like coming in, doing basically more than Ben Simmons has ever done. In his career, he's had more 30-point games than Ben Simmons. Like, he can shoot the ball. Like, I mean, it's pretty incredible watching it.
I was going to say, my question at the end was going to be, we can do this another day. How many of all the point guards that Philly have drafted, where would Ben Simmons rank? Because we know Maxey will be ahead. We know Markelle Fultz will be ahead. I'm just thinking how many others will come ahead. But yeah, that's a question.
I don't think Maxey would be ahead, just because if you look at what Ben has done for us, like, or did for us, then it was decent. But in terms of improvement and like wanting to improve, that's all we ever asked for. And he's playing really well. I think, unfortunately for the Raptors, it's going to be a tough series just because they have a lot of injuries, a lot of banged up. Siakam is still going to play. He's so dangerous. And I love the rivalry that him and Joel have, where I think they live 4 hours from each other. That's where they grew up. It's going to be an interesting series. What else have you guys got any closing notes?
I did want to ask you one thing, Alex. It's been a point of contention before, but 0 minutes for DeAndre Jordan. Paul Reed got 12. What do you think?
Bullying works. That's what happens. We've been talking about this for so long. Stop giving DeAndre Jordan minutes. We need a guy with a high motor. And the fact that Paul Reed, when I saw him checking in at the scorer's table, I was like, there's no way he's actually putting him in the game. Because if you look at the last few games with the game log, like, Paul Reed wasn't really getting a chance. And I think props to the fans, man. Like, the fact that we've actually like forced that issue. Like, DeAndre Jordan, the name, the stature, what he's done in his career, great, but he's not the same player. If there is a game where we might need to change something, and it's all about adjustments and having the right player, like you said, maybe Steven Adams isn't the right person for this series. Maybe they need to go in another direction, right? Then for sure, let's trial it. But Paul Reed gave good minutes. He's active. He goes after every loose ball, and I love it, man. Absolutely love it. Well done, Doc. Props where props is due, Doc. You listen to us. Ed, have you got any questions for me?
Nope. Don't care about the series.
Yeah, he's not happy. Keep it up, and keep it up, Philly, and we'll see what happens.